Hey guys, Alessio Summerfield here because you don't hear me talk enough. But I got something special to say this time. This is an old episode. We're on that new shit now, so I'm coming from the future to tell you to go to patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, all that shit. Metal Gear Mondays, except for Twitter. It's Metal Gear Monday. And that's it. Enjoy the episode. Have a great day. Love you.
Alessio, it's the future. We need your help.
Oh, I'm coming. Sorry, guys. Bye.
This week on Metal Gear Mondays, we take Metal Gear Rex for a ride.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome to another episode of Metal Gear Mondays, the Games Club style podcast where we talk about the Metal Gear games from start to finish, top to bottom, inside and out. As always, I'm your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I'm joined by Isaac Lim.
Hello, everybody.
And our guest from last week, Craven Knyte.
Hello.
That was very good. It's good. It was a good singular barbershop quartet. I don't know what that is. The barbershop sing quartet.
Alessio, you should layer the voice.
Oh, wow.
When you edit it.
Just like make copy after copy.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
If all my other jobs that I keep trying to pursue fail, I know exactly what to fall back to.
Yeah, exactly. It is wonderful. Yeah, you may be asking yourself, faithful listener, where the fuck is Samuel Wright?
Where is Sam?
Nobody knows.
Damn, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah. Specifically, I really wanted Craven and Sam to clash voices so that they could talk smashing boys in the ring.
Ew.
Yeah, I was really hoping
to
talk to him, but hopefully, if there's a chance in the future, maybe. If he's, I know, yeah, because I know he's got stuff going on. He's going to be going away soon, but maybe, hopefully.
For sure. Yeah, one, absolutely, absolutely, Sam. I know that you have a good sense of humor, so by no means are we like trashing on you for not being on the episode, but we completely understand that you are in the process of moving. So that's a cool thing.
It could be very tough depending on the situation, because he's going from state to state, right?
Oh, he's going like cross country, baby.
Cross country, yeah. Insane.
Yeah, it's pretty bananas. So anyway, all of our good vibes go out to Sam. I wonder if moving would have been easier if he would have had a Metal Gear to assist him.
Definitely would have been a lot more messy.
Yeah, for sure, which we will get into this week. However, last week, some things happened. Isaac.
Yeah.
What happened last week? And a nice segment that I like to try to segue into smoothly, called Fumbling in the Dark with Isaac Lim.
That's a good Sam impersonation you got there.
I was trying to channel the Samuel. Channel the Samuel. That's what I tell myself at all times. Channel the Samuel.
Let me meditate real quick and try to remember what happened.
What's your mantra when you're meditating to remember?
I say Metal Gear.
Craven, can you say Metal Gear fast? Because I feel like it's a hard phrase to say fast.
Metal Gear.
It's pretty tough, actually.
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
It's lost all its meaning already.
Yeah, I can't even say it normal.
This segment is getting out of hand, guys.
Yeah.
So last week,
going off the rails.
What did we do? Oh, we partied like it's 1998 or
yeah,
9.
That's good.
Or whenever.
Would have been good if you would have got the year right. No, I think you got the year.
I don't know what year it was. It was in 90.
I don't remember.
Something.
It came out in I think 98, 97, 98, but the game took place, I believe, in like 2001.
Oh, so should we be partying like it's 2001?
Yeah, like
so the game came out September 3rd, 1998.
Okay.
Oh. Dang it. I got it right the first time.
Damn.
Anyway, so
So close.
yeah, we had a wet dream.
Ooh,
Snake had a wet dream.
a cold dream.
Going back to his prime years at Shadow Moses.
Back before he had eyeballs.
That's right. Back before he was not falling apart.
Yep.
And that's... Oh, and we fought a wolf.
Some might say a sniping wolf.
Or a crying wolf?
I just realized that for that boss fight, they literally were like, what if the sniper wolf was an actual wolf? Like, are you serious, guys?
What if?
Literal wolf sniping.
Why not have both?
Yeah, for sure. Also, I'll throw that in. I'll throw it in when we get to it. But there was like another weird little caveat that I didn't really realize on that boss fight. So anyway, Isaac, continue.
I mean, is that
all you got?
Did we do anything else?
That's it.
I think you
I'm
were.
pretty
I
sure
think you're
that's it.
just recalling the stuff we talked about last week.
Yeah, you did a good job, Isaac.
Oh, thanks.
One of these days, when Isaac starts doing
Remembering?
his fumbling in the dark, I really want to get Isaac to on his own time just like record a word for word transcript of the previous episode that I can just cut in for like a full like 40 minutes.
Oh gosh.
But
That'd be
Like, I
fun.
think like it would. I think it would be like a lot of work to do for this my idea, but for Isaac to kind of record himself while he's playing these sections and kind of do his own commentary as he goes, instead of like trying to remember. Crap, I played this like a month ago and I have to remember how I felt.
we
about
just hear like,
I think it'll be a lot of it'll be a lot of
it. Yeah, it would. It's too much ass.
that, and just we hear Isaac snoring during cutscenes.
But he doesn't have a whole lot to do in that bunker you keep him in, so
That's right.
That's
You
true.
don't feed me
Yeah.
either, so
Yeah,
he gets the
true.
expired rations.
Yeah, for those of you at home who don't know, Isaac actually records using one of those cans with the strings attached when we do the podcast.
yeah. It's going
Rocky
through
loves
to
Emily.
Alessio's.
Rocky loves Emily.
But yeah, so that was last week, and this week we've got a real simple objective, which is to finish Act 4. For everybody at home, I feel like the first half of the act is way better than the second half of the act, and we might dive into that a little bit. There's some cool moments, but holy goddamn, the last cutscene of this act I found to be ridiculous in a bad way.
Yeah.
I forgot how ridiculously goofy it is,
Yeah.
but we'll get to it when we get to it. One thing I wanted to mention real quick before we go too far in is I completely forgot, and thankfully nobody wrote in to like clarify, because nobody ever writes in because nobody listens to this show. I'm kidding. That if you ram Sunny with the Mark III in the briefing section, you actually get the face shield Raiden, which like the face camo, which I completely forgot about until I booted up my game and was like, how the fuck did I get this? And then I Googled it and was like, oh. So,
wait, that's the
yeah.
only way?
Yeah, so in order to get... So you get Raiden's face camo with his shield on his face down if you ram Sunny, which only happens when she stands up in the mission briefing, so I must have just like got her at like just the right moment. And to get Raiden's face camo with the shield up, you have to hit Naomi during the Act 3 briefing, like for like the 30 seconds that she's not sitting in a chair.
Got her.
So,
Man,
fun fact.
the internet wasn't around. Like, how the hell do they expect us to find these things?
Yeah, totally. What the hell?
Like, I actually think I remember getting the Raiden face mask, but I don't remember how I got it. I thought it just appeared after that briefing. So I must have just did it on accident.
For sure. But yeah, so like I said, we are going into Act 4, Part 2. Part 2. Yeah, so real quick, one of the things that I wanted to mention on that boss fight, since we are technically in the chronology of where we're at right now, we're standing in the snow in front of the blast furnace door. And where from where we're at, I totally fucking didn't realize. I'm pretty sure the railgun that Crying Wolf has is supposed to be Fortune's railgun.
It seems very much like that. Like it looks very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, like I don't want to fall down like a weird hole like people get with Dark Souls, which is like, oh, this one weapon, I've only seen this one person use it. There can't be any others like it. This has to be that person's weapon. And
it could be I
doubt that that's the case.
Within the universe, it could be something that was replicated, or it could just been Hideo just like he liked the idea of the gun in part 2. He wanted to bring it back for part 4.
Yeah,
could be,
or it's like an homage or something.
Yeah, in a way, he's like he must have really liked part 2 so much, and it's like I got to get this in there
for sure. But yeah, right after that, before we go into the blast furnace, one of my favorite codec cutscenes in the whole game, which is real fucking goofy, happens. Where Otacon tells Snake to change the disc, and Snake's like, "What are you talking about?" And then essentially they just kind of go off and they're like, "Never mind, you don't have to do that anymore. Isn't this great?" Like,
and then Snake
becomes
goes,
this weird like,
say? "Get it together."
Yeah. He's like, "Come on, Otacon!" Like, just like, "I'm sorry, Snake."
I thought that was hilarious. Just scolding Otacon.
Yeah, it's real goofy. Yeah, so two things here. So we essentially go into the blast furnace sans lava. So this is blast furnace. Like the title card should have read blast furnace minus blast. Is what it should have just said, like furnace with the blast crossed out. Or I guess both of those words don't apply anymore because there's no more molten material in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially a big cold, like, hey, this is where we used to do this. And it's filled with the little, what the fuck are they called? The dwarf geckos.
Geckos, yeah.
I hate those
little
things.
bastards.
So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know how you guys got through this. Just spoiler alert, I think I had 2 chaff grenades left. No, I had 3 chaff grenades left. And I threw another one in here and just fucking booked it for the elevator door. I don't know what you guys did.
Okay, so what I did was I pretty much just blast my way through the first time when I first played it. I just started like shoot. I tried to sneak in a way because I wasn't 100% sure how to sneak past these guys, like I said last week. And I never really used a chaff grenade, I think because I never bought it. And this time, this playthrough that I did was the first time that I bought it. But I bought it before we got, like, after the elevator that doesn't exist. But I pretty much just, this time around, I just shot through them. But the first time, when I first played the game, when I first got it, I just tried to sneak my way through. And I think I made it to the elevator, but then I got spotted. And then I was just in that corner just trying to destroy them all.
Oh, God.
So
yeah, that sounds fucking miserable. Like, I feel like, and I don't know if this is the case or if this is just kind of like what I noticed with my experience, but I feel like when you kill one of the dwarf geckos, that like the rest come to investigate the minute it goes offline.
Okay.
Did you guys encounter that?
Not so much because when I got into the tank hangar, when you first get to Shadow Moses, I got spotted and then I ran straight through the door that leads you to the snow area where you fight Raven for the first time. But I get there and then I just kind of come back and then they're still in caution mode, but I'm just kind of picking one off. I think I mentioned this last week. I was picking one off one at a time and none of them really investigate. Like it's still caution, but they're not looking for me. So you can.
It must have been a proximity thing for me then.
Probably. I think if you're in close proximity, they look for you and all that. Maybe, but I was kind of, if anything, within the game, probably about like 30 feet away. And I was shooting one by one that I can see, just so I can just kind of travel around that little area and find things I haven't seen before, and try and take notes on certain things. But yeah, after that, trying to get to that elevator, I just kind of blast my way through, and then I just pretty much all lethal through this section, trying to get through it as quick as possible.
Well, technically it's non-lethal because none of these things are people.
Pretty much,
so
yeah.
That's fine.
You can't tranquilize friggin' dwarf geckos.
Can you give me your best the raven on my skull thirsts for your blood quote real quick, or the raven on my chest thirsts for your blood, Craven? I feel like
from
somebody on the Slack asked, I hope Craven channels Vulcan Raven the entire time he's on the episode.
Oh my god!
So I feel like I need to get you to try one line.
I've never done a Raven, so I'll try it. Okay, so the Raven on my chest. What is the line again? What's my line?
I think it's the Raven on my chest thirsts for your blood.
The Raven on my chest thirsts for your blood.
It might just be Metal Gear Awesome.
Okay. The Raven on my chest thirsts for your blood.
That was pretty fucking good, dude.
Was it?
I thought it was
like,
pretty
I tried
good.
really hard to
on
remember.
my side of the internet, it sounded pretty good.
Okay, because I haven't heard that dialogue and seen that scene in such a long time, so I just kind of try to go off like deep memories in my brain.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, and the elevator in this room only goes to B5, so like you can't channel surf through the elevator. Isaac, how was your experience in the frozen opposite of a furnace?
So I tried kind of like how Craven did it and tried to sneak, but unlike you guys, I had no idea where I was going. I didn't know there was an elevator, so...
Oh, it was there the first time, Isaac. You've been here before.
I didn't know where we were supposed to go. I was just kind of wandering. And then these little three-legged geckos come at me and start throwing me around.
I hate those guys.
Yeah,
man.
they're the worst. Actually, they're my least favorite in the whole entire series.
Annoying. Yeah,
I would agree with that. Put that in writing.
Isaac Lim hates those dwarf geckos.
Well, they have those little laser sights, like these green laser sights, and they're mechanical, and they're very much just like the enemy sentries in the old games, where they're just following their one little paths and going back and forth in the same area. So it took me a while to realize that they had those laser sights. And then
there's just so fucking many of them.
There's too many.
That's the part that I hate.
Because it's like there's 3 in a group. Always. It's always 3 in a little group. So they always holding each other's hands pretty much. And they roll.
Where's the trench coat? They should all have a trench coat.
But they just they have the laser sight in one section, and they roll away and they laser sight to another section. You realize they're either hitting 2 or 3 points at a time. So the same 2 or 3 points. But then you try to focus on these 3, and then you don't realize that there's another 3 that's probably looking straight at them or whatever. And it's really hard to tell. And then you got some that are like surveillance cameras, pretty much, that are just in their own, like a single one that's in their own little spot that
totally
kind of has its own laser sight in pretty much like a good proximity area that it's really hard to sneak past. So you got all these like sections and all these dwarf geckos that you're trying to keep an eye out for, but it's really difficult.
For sure. Or you could just pop a chaff grenade and then literally somersault over the railing and land right in front of the elevator door.
Yeah, you can take the easy way out.
Well, like I did the jump and I was like, I wonder if I'm going to live through this. Because like it's weird because like, I feel like there's not a lot of points in the game where you can kind of test the fall damage. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm just going to like hit the bottom of this and Snake's just like his knees are going to go out and that's it.
He's
for
an old
Snake.
man.
Ideally, they should go out, but like for someone who but for someone who complains about his back a lot, he's pretty limber, can do front flips off railings.
Yeah, right? What the fuck's up with that? Yeah, I will say this zone is a million times easier than it was the first time around.
Agreed.
Primarily because we don't have that little claw arm that knocks you into the lava.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we don't have lava in general.
Yeah,
so.
we don't literally have lava. Yeah. Can you imagine if you got all the way to the Metal Gear Rex and they were like, you got to use the shape-shifting key again. You're like, where the fuck am I going to find heat? Like,
You just gotta sit on
they make you
for
shake
10
the
hours.
controller enough to like give friction to the car.
Oh my god! They make you turn the joysticks like constantly until your hand is warm.
Oh no! Fuck that!
You break your controller.
Oh Jesus! Yeah. I as soon as you got into the elevator, I was definitely kind of caught off guard. I completely forgot that there was this like flashback Kodak call with Naomi in the elevator. Mm-hmm. But this is. It's a little bit difficult to tell because like I dig that it's all in the new engine, but I feel like the scale of things doesn't really match the way the scale was in the PS1 game.
Okay.
Because the elevator feels smaller, and like even the little van or the little truck that the SOCOM was in the first game in front of the tank hangar felt like it looked like a little fucking like sled. Mm-hmm. thing. Like, it was so much smaller.
Yeah.
So I feel like this elevator was way bigger in the first game.
Yeah.
But Naomi, like, this is the flashback, and this is the elevator where Naomi tells you that her brother is Gray Fox.
Yeah.
I put brother in air quotes.
we didn't,
her adopted brother, I guess.
Yeah, because that elevator that we took in the first game was the one on the right side, and you took 2 elevators. And you took one and that was when...
Oh, it was the big-ass ones. It's like the ones that load up vehicles.
Yeah, the big, giant one. And I think you were talking about the scale just didn't match, where I think the idea is that, because remember, that elevator was such a long ride, and then you fought enemies that spotted you.
Oh, that's right.
Similar to the ones that took, like, the stealth camouflage in the section in Metal Gear Solid 1 to that, where they just kind of appear out of nowhere. But
well, and that would explain this next part, too, because, like, in my notes, I was just like, what the fuck is this next section of rooms? Because I don't remember any of this until we get to the underground base.
Yeah, well, these sections of rooms, they were not in the first game. This whole left side was completely non-existent. That elevator shouldn't be there, because I remember after playing Part 4 and replaying Part 1, I looked over there to see if there was any essence or anything of that resembles an elevator. There's nothing but just a blank wall. So that's what bugs me about the elevator. I was like, this shouldn't be here.
A contractor showed up after the fact and was like,
guess
it'd be good right here.
Because the same contractor also dropped that elevator that carries Metal Gear, too. That was something that kind of threw me off. It's like, who brought this just down?
Yeah. It was especially coming up to, like, I mean, we'll get to it, but once you get to the Metal Gear, I was like, what? Where the fuck is the Metal Gear?
I know.
And why do we have to travel? I don't know. It's weird.
But it's
essentially like...
section,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. But the section is just non-existent in the first game. It's a totally different section. And I think that was just a matter of... I believe it's just a matter of just throwing something new in there. That's the only reason they will probably force a non-existent elevator and have you go through this section where there's more dwarf geckos with a mix of the regular geckos, and you're sneaking past an area that you're not familiar with. So it's completely foreign to you, so you actually have to really think on your feet a little bit more instead of just knowing exactly where you are.
Yeah, that's a good point. That combined with the fact that, like, I don't know, for all intents and purposes, maybe they were like, we don't want to put you guys on these giant fucking elevators to do nothing for the next 10 minutes.
So we just throw this elevator that goes straight down instead of at an angle.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and so this main area kind of opens up, like Craven had mentioned. There's some dwarf geckos and some regular geckos, and like this big conveyor belt room. It's weird. I keep seeing like a mixture of dwarf gecko and scarab online, so I'm not sure what the colloquialism is, because I keep seeing
like the
both
actual
of
name.
them. Yeah, so I don't know.
Like, it never really referred to them as by their names or what it's called in the game.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it is taken from like strategy guides and stuff.
Probably.
But yeah, so in this part, I had one last chaff grenade, and I was like, I can use this here, or I can save it for later. And I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what was coming up next. So I was like, I'm going to save it. And so I tried to sneak past, and then one of those little fucking dwarf geckos, those little scarabs, spotted me, and I just got fed up with having to deal with it. So I just like fucking went bananas and just took everything out. The railgun works really well on the geckos. Spoiler alert. You can kind of like, if you charge it enough, you can kind of one-shot them, actually.
If you let it go about halfway, you can get the 3 at one time, and they just go down.
Yeah.
And explode.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which we'll be using much more later. But Isaac, were you about to say something?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that'll come in handy later, but you just said that.
I've never heard you sound so like
I believe
perturbed.
it will come in handy later.
Well, whoop-de-doo.
What do you mean later, guys? I thought the act ended in this room. I don't know. What are you talking about?
This is where it ended for me. No.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I mean, with you guys, like, I don't know. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you can just kind of run through all this shit, technically.
Yeah.
And just kind of get where you need to go. Yeah. I mean, did you guys have anything of merit here while we're here? Was there anything that you did that felt worth talking about?
Not really. They had little items here and there. It's just usually just more rations, which definitely comes in handy when when you get to the later section. But no, it's really nothing I can think of. I think it's just a fun little section if you enjoy the stealth aspect, which I always did when I was younger. I always enjoyed sneaking around. So I think that was just, if you want to explore and all that, which, because I think it's one of those sections that it kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 2 when you're in the tanker, and you can go either right or left, and there's different scenarios on each side. I don't think there's different scenarios in this case for this game, but you can go either right side or left side to get, but I think eventually you need to get to that right side because that's where pretty much the exit to that area is that leads you to a certain hallway that is from the first game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the zones kind of bleed together because I'm not sure if what we just talked about was part of the blast furnace area still, because then it goes into this like casting facility south, and I know there's 2 casting facility sections, but yeah, it all kind of bleeds together. I think the casting facility in general is again part of that section that's not included in the original game. It is neat to see more of Shadow Moses because to me it almost kind of reminded me of I don't know if you guys have played Portal 2 or Portal, where it's like you get to a certain point in the game and then you're kind of hanging out behind where you were earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, where it's like, hey, here's the Shadow Moses you know and love. By the way, this is a big fucking facility, so like there's other stuff going on.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see different areas, see things you're not familiar with, because it really takes you off guard or catches you off guard, like seeing areas that you don't know.
For sure. But yeah, and then there's this little ladder area in the tiny hallway that leads you to the underground base, which, if you're wondering, why did he say that in that dramatic voice? Am I supposed to know what this is? It's that shitty hallway with all the gun turrets from the original Metal Gear Solid 1.
Except they are replaced with a bunch of, you guessed it, dwarf geckos.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
And it's an overabundance, and they're all over the place. And this is the one and only time I used to chaff grenades on these guys.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I was going to say it, too. Like, this is the part where I was just like, fuck it. I'm pretty sure there's a boss fight after this. I'm just going to do this. Yeah. And then I ran. So, yeah, Isaac, how did you fare here? Did you use a chaff grenade as well, or did you find other means? Did you bribe them?
I eventually used a chaff grenade. I remember getting thrown around and flailing quite a bit.
Getting tossed around like a bag of peanuts.
Yeah. It was annoying. That's all I got to say about this little portion.
Yeah. It sucks. Like I would almost rather have them only had the full-sized geckos with just no enemies in these like abandoned
sections. That would be awesome. There's just like an empty facility.
Because to me, it's like, yeah. Well, like just in general, like why the fuck are there any enemies here?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I get it, but like, Liquid and Co. saw the Mark II like spying on them, but like truthfully, and we're gonna find it because like spoiler alert, they get to Metal Gear Rex, and when you show up, like, the railgun's already gone. So it's like, if they're already getting the shit that they want to get, like, why are they so hell-bent and, like, making it hard for you to get there?
Well, maybe they were like...
especially considering that all the bad guys in the game are like, Snake's too old for this shit. And it's just like, okay, so, like, why are you even throwing bad guys at us?
Maybe they're just, like leftover sentries from when it was abandoned, and they just, got left there, and they're just like walking around with no purpose. They're machines.
They have no purpose.
So
they have no home. So they're just making
this is their outer
home
heaven
in these little sections.
Yeah,
it's just those situations where it's you gotta like. It reminds you that this is a video game and it has to be complicated instead of kind of throwing logic out of the window, because it wouldn't make sense that these things are still lingering around since their main objective was pretty much done. But for the sake of drama, they have to make it more dramatic.
For sure. To me, I think it would have been more of like a nostalgia trip, kind of like gut-wrenching, like, oh, wow, like this is cool if like we could really linger and like look at everything up close from like the past, and I feel like all this extra stuff kind of, I mean, I don't know, it makes the game, I guess, but it also kind of throws in like a weird hindrance, like, hey, quit looking at that shit for too long, you got something to do, we're gonna throw some enemies at you. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I kind of just want to take my time here because that's what this is for.
Because you want to explore, you want to look for things, because like there's a stair level that goes up, and every time you go up there, there's something there that you may need, whether it's rations or chaff grenades, from the first game. But you kind of want to go up there, but it's like you're trying. it's a game that is supposed to be a stealth game, if anything. But if you go stealth, you can't really explore without getting discovered. And if you get discovered, the stealth element's out of it, and you just got to destroy everything, and then you can explore. So you can't really have both, like, be stealthy and then just, you know, try and explore. Otherwise, you're just going to get discovered. So it's hard to balance those two things.
For sure. Yeah. Anyway, me and Isaac being soft boys who don't want to play video games but instead just explore a virtual space aside. We end up in this underground supply tunnel, which it's where Rex was held. So it does this cool, like, you walk in, and the cutscene kind of similarly frames it to where you don't really see what's going on, and then, like, the camera tilts and, like, you see from behind Snake's head, and it's like, oh wow, and you can press X to do the flashback, and it shows, like, Rex from MGS1, but there's no Rex in 4. There's just, like, a big empty, like, where the fuck is it? And then Otacon is like, oh, hey, I hacked the elevator with my R2-D2 hand. And then you guys, like, ride up the elevator. Then when it happens again with the Rex, I'm just like, why the fuck are people putting, like, hacking ports on the feet of giant robots? Like, this is...
It's just it's really odd that, like, even on the elevator there's a little port that he can just go right into. I'm trying to make it make sense in my brain, where it's like, okay, maybe they would put a little thing there for whatever reason, but it's like, it's
I
just
feel like
weird
at this point I was like, the game's just gonna do what the game's gonna do.
Yeah.
At this point, like, it's just like, oh yeah, everything's got a USB on the ground now.
Yeah,
it's like, what? Why?
It's like there's just storage. There's just storage slots everywhere where you can just put back up all your files and all that.
Yeah, not to mention they future-proofed the facility in 2001 to make sure that these Metal Gear Mark IIIs in 2019 or whatever year it is would be able to be backwards compatible. So come on, man. Yeah. Anyway, God, my Metal Gear Solid 5 is showing a little bit. Essentially we get into this zone where the elevator goes up. We see to me it's super fucking cool that you see the Rex all fucked up. And, like, I get it. Like, I'm sure that Rex was put on the elevator to get to the boss fight arena where we fought him in MGS1. It's just they didn't really make as big of a deal of the elevator in the first game. So we're kind of being knuckleheads about it. But yes, this is like the arena where you fought Rex, and he's all fucked up in the corner. But as we mentioned earlier, he's missing his railgun. And so Otacon and Snake are like, oh, fuck, where's the railgun? And then Otacon's like, let me find out. And then, like, hacks the foot of the Metal Gear Rex. And he's like, oh, yeah, they took it this way. And it's like, I don't, what? Like, what the fuck? Are you the robot foot whisperer? Like, what's happening? And then Vamp and Naomi show up, and, like, Naomi gets all, like, weird sexy.
Yeah, it's kind of really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then Vamp says that there's suicide geckos on the way, which, why? Because, like, they already have the railgun, so, like, why are you suicide bombing
why are they
the
still
base
there?
that's gonna sink into the ocean? But yeah, so let's camp out here for a second before we get into the boss fight. What the fuck is up with sexy Naomi?
Yeah. That was really weird.
Like,
is
she
there
really
an answer for this?
She really has to play this role in order to really prove that she's part of the Ocelot clan or whatever. On
like,
their
I don't
side.
get it. Like, she fucked us in Europe and, like, took off with Liquid. So, like, is that not enough?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just felt kind of weird.
It's
it seemed out of place.
What's that syndrome?
Stockholm.
Oh, like Stockholm
syndrome.
Oh man, she fell in love.
She fell in love with a zombie.
More like the hot kidnapping syndrome. Am I right? No, I'm just kidding. It's disgusting. But yeah, so I don't. What was weird to me was before they show Naomi, Vamp's just like walking towards you, and he's like, "I'm saying Vamp things,"
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, there's just like a third arm that's like caressing his belly button, and I'm like, "Where did Vamp get that third arm?" And then like out from behind him, Naomi's like, "It's my arm," and I was just like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Oh my god.
Well, she even has like sexy eyes. She's like, "Oh, hey, Snake," and it's just like, for a moment, I was like, "Is Psycho Mantis possessing Naomi to like play with this dude's like belly button hair? Like, what's happening?"
Like, he knows Vamp has a belly button fetish.
Yeah,
He just loves
it
when
was
girls
very
play
weird.
with it.
Yeah, it was a little bizarre. But yeah, so anyways, long story short, we get into this Vamp boss fight. And I think this is actually the first time Snake fights Vamp.
In the
If I remember
game?
correctly,
In this
like
game?
in the canon. I think in any game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because like Snake didn't shoot at Vamp during the sniper part on the boundary barrier wall.
Yeah, because he had
in
no
MGS2.
decent view to get at him, so Raiden had to do it.
Yeah, so I don't think Snake's
Interesting.
ever fought Vamp.
Never thought about that.
I think
So-
I think I feel like he did, but I think I just keep thinking of when he was fighting Fortune, and then Raiden climbed the ladder
yeah.
to go fight all the Metal Gear Rays.
What about MGS2? Am I thinking about this right? In that one little is that Vamp? In that one
The little water
um,
area?
It's like a
Yeah,
square
Raiden
room.
fought him. Yeah, right. You fight him there as Raiden,
That's
but
Raiden?
Snake doesn't fight him.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
that's in
You fight him
MGS2. Yeah.
S3
okay. Yeah.
is complete.
Duh.
No, I'm kidding. Sorry. That was the whole point, Isaac. You're supposed to confuse
Sorry.
Raiden for Snake
Sorry,
because they're
yeah.
simulated.
Yeah,
It's all part of the plan.
because we are Raiden.
Yeah,
I don't know why that's not a shirt. We are Raiden.
yeah, totally. Well, we were, and then MGS4 happened.
Yeah. And
So.
just retcon all of it.
Whoopsie. But yeah, there's a lot of knife throwing, charge slash attacks. He's dancing all over the place. It's Vamp from MGS2
Yeah.
in a different arena. Yeah, I got a question for you guys. How quickly did you? So Craven, let's ask. I'm going to ask Isaac.
Yep.
Because me and you have like built-in muscle memory.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to figure out that you needed to equip the syringe and CQC him?
Not that long. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So, okay, you go through the whole charade of you kill him and then he comes back, and I did that like 5 or 6 times. And I'm like, I don't understand.
Did that about 37 times.
So, instead of like trying to experiment, I'm like, you know what? The internet's right here. I'll just look it up. And so
Yeah,
I just
so we did
looked
the
it
same
up.
thing. Yeah, so I forgot. I was like, I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. And then I was like, maybe fire. And then I was like, no, that's not doing anything. And then I was like, maybe if I kill him a couple times, the cutscene will trigger. And then I was like, nope, that's not what I'm supposed to do. And then I was like, hold on. And I just like pulled out my phone and was like, oh yes, I forgot about this.
God, you guys
Yeah.
are children. You guys
I
are such
know.
children
Yeah,
going
we're
to
the
your
worst.
phones.
We're so baby.
I know,
We're
right?
babies.
We're so
We're
baby.
so baby.
What about you, Craven?
Me, okay, so I remember the first time I did this, I think it was probably 3 times that I took him down with the guns trying to figure out what to do. And then it just hit me because in my first playthrough years ago, I consistently tried to use that syringe since, and knowing what it does, that, it pretty much, just... What does it do? It pretty much just like deactivates the nanomachines temporarily or some shit like that. And,
Yeah, like suppresses them.
Yes, yeah, that. And I remembered, I remembered that, and I was like, wait, the syringe. And then is there a way? I think it hit me. I was like, there has to be a way to use a syringe. Like, I have to be able to use that, but it's an item. It's not a weapon. How do I do that? And then I went to it just to read the information because that's something we neglect. In some of the items, that it has descriptions and it tells you pretty much everything you can do with them, but we don't read them. At least I don't. I tend to neglect because I hate reading because reading's for nerds. But
Totally,
no,
absolutely.
but no,
I'm
like
a high functioning illiterate myself.
I remembered that the syringe, and I looked at the information, and it's like in CQC you can do this. I was like, oh my god, that's it. And I was like, so how do I see? And then I think I tried to CQC him here and there so I can get him, but you can't really touch him. And then after the 3rd time I shot him down, 3rd or 4th time I shot him down, I was like, oh, this is my opportunity. I go up to him, he gets up, and I can grab him. I think I even tried to grab him before that, and I just didn't know what to do. And then once I figured it out, I grabbed them, I used the syringe, and it ended right away. And I was like, oh, man. And then this time around when I played, this has been such a long time, I was trying to remember as I went. It's like, okay, I'm going to keep shooting him, but I think I'm supposed to CQC him. I know I'm supposed to CQC him with the syringe, but I can't remember when to do it or how to do it. So I just kept shooting him, and then I think I shot him down once, and I was like, oh, wait, yeah, the syringe, I got to CQC it, and I looked up how to do it again, and then once I shot him down a second time, I grabbed him to the CQC, and then I did it right away. So it was like probably the quickest I've done it, and yeah, it was it's pretty much just all just kind of muscle memory, or just just memories in the back of my mind of me doing it before that really helped me instead of going to that damn internet.
You knew? Yeah. I think the crappy part was like right around the time that I was like, oh shit, that's right. As soon as I started trying to do it again, he kept going up. And so every time I'd like shoot him, he'd just like be stunned up top. And I was like, oh, I can't get to you up there. This sucks. So I'd have to just like wait for him to come down. I think one time I actually I stunned him. He falls over. I was waiting for him to get back up. When I went to grab him when he got back up, he just like danced out of the way. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So this was longer than the Rex fight for me, which was silly.
I remember using the grenade launcher a lot on him and this time around.
Yeah, because it really, I mean, it doesn't matter if you lethal or non-lethal him. Yeah. It is part of the story for him to die. Yeah. So essentially the syringe makes Vamp mortal again by like suppressing his nanomachines long enough for his healing factor to not be a thing. You hit him with it this first time, and we'll talk about why Naomi is a bigger badass than Vamp is, because it only takes 2 syringes for Vamp to go down, and it takes 3 for Naomi. Yeah. Anyway, this syringe makes Vamp mortal. Things are like, it's like, oh wow, and I don't know if it's temporary or not. I think it is temporary, because that's why Naomi and Snake have to like pop the syringe more. But yeah, so it suppresses his nanomachines temporarily. Conveniently enough, Raiden shows up to defend Snake right after you pop the syringe. Raiden totally has like a goofy goober nerd boy version of the "kept you waiting, huh?" He's like, "I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting," and I was just like, "Wow, that sounds like Dave Chappelle like making fun of white people." It's just like the over enunciated, like hyper articulated, like, "I apologize for have kept you all waiting, good sirs," like. So it made me laugh. And then Raiden starts to fight Vamp, and the screen cuts in half, and it becomes like you watch Raiden fight Vamp while Snake has to hold off Suicide Gecko bombers with the railgun on his half of the screen.
Now, when I played this the first time, I thought it was awesome. And the fact that he did the split screen and then you're fighting the gecko and all that. But playing it again, I'm just like, this is so dumb. I can't watch what Raiden is doing.
Yeah. It's very distracting.
It is. It's distracting. If anything, it's hindering you from like doing better at taking down the gecko, where it's like all this cool shit is happening, but you're stuck doing like your own thing, fighting a bunch of robots.
Yeah. And the game barely ever does this. Like, not even the game, the series, like, this is like, what, like one of 2 times in the entirety of the series that it's split screen, and it's the only time where it's interactive split screen.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, it's a little bizarre. Isaac, did you have any trouble with this part?
Going back to the whole charging the railgun, I did at first, because I was just popping the rails, if you will. Without charging it, and it took me like 5 or 6 shots to take down a single gecko, and I was like, crap, this is dumb. So I go back to my trusty friend, the internet, and he tells me that I need to charge it.
Why does it gotta be a guy, Isaac?
Because he told me he was a guy.
Okay, fair enough.
We had a deep conversation about this, because I at first I did call him a girl, and then he got offended, so he corrected me. Makes sense. Just so you know, the internet is a guy.
Yeah, for future reference. Speaking of guys, one of my favorite shots in the entire game is Vamp going, "Let us duel with blades."
Oh,
and then the camera's
yes.
like, "Look at Vamp's dick." And it's just like,
That was hilarious.
yeah, it's a very
Oh, man.
the homoeroticism that began in South America continues in snowy Alaska.
Yeah. But
yeah.
the split screen, I was like, yeah, like you said, Craven, at first it was really cool, but then I just couldn't do both things I couldn't watch and then destroy geckos at the same time. I wish they had
it's a moment you definitely can't enjoy, because the moments they try to give you that, like, oh man, this would be really cool for the players, and then you do it and it's like, no, this is so tense, I can't enjoy myself because these things are going to explode. And I'm still trying to work this damn railgun thingy, this damn sniper railgun, and trying to take these things down because it's a thing that has me use it. So ideally, I'm supposed to use this. But because the first time I did it, I wasn't sure. I did pretty much the same thing Isaac did, where I just kept using it and kept shooting it because I didn't realize I had the charge. And then I started noticing, because this is before I relied on the internet so much.
Isaac.
like, I can't help it, man.
But yeah, I just I noticed that, like, the little bar at the bottom, and I noticed that it kept going up every time I held it, and I was like, maybe if I let it charge. And I let it charge halfway, and I noticed it was stronger and stronger. I was like, if I let it charge all the way, maybe I can get them in one shot. And then I let it charge all the way, and I got them in one shot. It's just you got to have patience with it, because like these geckos are shooting at you, and you got to pretty much. If you charge it and don't get them on that one shot, it almost feels like you're screwed.
You wasted,
have to start over. Yeah, and because that's more time. That's less time that you have until they freaking explode, and then you're just screwed. But Raiden's up there having the time of his life.
Hey, don't forget, Otacon should have his own split screen because he's hacking the Metal Gear.
That would be
with his
hilarious.
Metal
Oh man, a
Gear.
little bottom screen of Mark.
Yeah, that would have been
hacking.
amazing.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I'd almost like to see like an A/B test where it's like if you got a real quick finger, I almost wonder if like tapping it a lot would be quicker than charging it.
Well,
but it does have like a cooldown sort of like post shot.
well, that's the thing. Like
period.
each shot is a round, because it's not like it's infinite. You have to actually buy rounds. You'll waste a round. So every time you shoot it once, you waste a round. So if you hit it multiple times, you're wasting those rounds faster and faster.
For sure.
So you're using more rounds on one gecko.
Yeah, Snake's getting Amazon Instant Prime ammunition delivered to him by drones.
Prime
Well,
Alexa, order me more railgun ammo.
yes, Snake.
Freaking Metal Gear did it first. Once again, freaking did
That's
Prime
true.
before Prime.
Yeah.
That's true. Alexa, show me a picture of oysters smiling. Anyway. It's the best. Anyway, Salad Man aside. So yeah, we get this cutscene where Rex goes fully operational thanks to Otacon. Simultaneously, Raiden tells Naomi that Sonny cooked the eggs right, and then Naomi starts crying.
This is, now this scene was hilarious to me. I'm sure it was hilarious. to you guys
this
too.
is. Yeah, this like so. In my head, I was like, Naomi dies in MGS4, and I'm team Otacon and Naomi, so I'm gonna get real sad because I want these two lovebirds to be together. A million times more than I want fucking Meryl and Johnny to be in the same room together.
Oh my
I want
God,
these
Meryl
I want
and
these
Johnny.
people to be together. And so I was like, fuck, this is gonna suck because I'm gonna get sad. And then I was watching it and I was like, this is so bad that, like, other than like one line that Naomi said, for the entirety of this cutscene, I was like, why are you killing yourself? So yeah, like, just for the listener at home, essentially what ends up happening is Raiden kicks the shit out of Vamp. Vamp's just like all messed up because he can't heal himself, so he's like legitimately in pain and like suffering and dying. Naomi comes out of nowhere and is like not sexy Naomi all of a sudden.
Science
and-
Naomi once again.
Yeah, she's just back to science Naomi. And she has the little syringe, and she's for whatever reason she like looks at Otacon and she's like, Otacon, like, give it, like, Dr. Emmerich, like, you got to trust me. Put him out of his misery.
This was so dumb because, like, there's
Yeah, and
really
it's-
no
I
reason
don't-
for that.
Yeah, not at all. Like, just have Raiden cut his fucking head off or something. Like, what?
And then Vamp just takes it out of both their hands and just, like, stabs himself and does it, and really taking away from that little moment. Mm-hmm. Because it's too much. It's too much for, especially in that one little moment, that for Otacon to register, like, why it's important for him to do it. But then Vamp just really takes that away. So it's kind of like a moment that they shouldn't even have bothered of doing anyway.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Well, and, like, that's the thing is, like, why do we have to... Like, his nanomachines are already suppressed. Everybody hates this guy. Mm-hmm. Who gives a shit if we put him out of his misery? Just, like, they could have just had Raiden, like, run him through with the sword and called it a day. Like, right then and there. Yeah. So the cutscene just feels already, like, kind of bloated and, like, arbitrarily long. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, Naomi's like, yeah, Liquid took the Patriots warship, which, like, can't be monitored by the system or controlled by the Patriots. It's called Outer Haven, and it's like, okay, I get it. It's a haven away from the Patriots. It's an Outer Heaven thing. Cool. But then Naomi fucking stabs herself with the syringe for, literally no reason. Yeah,
because she, her thing was that what was keeping them alive, or at least making them, quote-unquote, immortal, was the nanomachines. Mm-hmm. The nanomachines are what's keeping them alive. And so with Vamp, his nanomachines were pretty much keeping him alive, but he needed the syringe to suppress it, so suppress those nanomachines while he was in the most pain or at pretty much on edge of dying before nanomachines can heal him up. So he can just go in peace and die.
So he could die.
Why all of a sudden this is so important for him to die? Maybe because they're all right there and watching. I don't know. But then we learn that Naomi has pretty much been a zombie this entire time, the same as Vamp, where she died years ago of cancer, and what was keeping her alive was the nanomachines. But thing is, we see her periodically throughout the game using the syringe. So how all of a sudden her using syringe now it kills her? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, well, she uses it like 3 times, and I get it, but like, so I get the mechanics of it, and I understand, but like, why is it now that we're establishing that Naomi has cancer? And why is it now that Naomi's choosing to take her life? Because if you think about her character, she doesn't have any family now that Frank Yeager's dead. She doesn't really have much going on. And she's somehow like, the game kind of makes it seem like her nanomachines are forcing her to help Liquid, but never really goes into detail about it. And then, like, specifically in the shed in South America, she's like, oh, I can't leave unless you take me, because of, she is, like, it seems like it's alluding to the fact that, like, her nanomachines are keeping her there. But, like, with this part, what doesn't make any fucking sense to me is, like, she has Sonny, she has Dr. Emmerich, she believes in Snake's cause. She has people that she can buddy up with now. And especially with this whole, like, theme of, like, atoning for our past sins. Like, you think she would want to help to rectify all this bullshit that she's done. But instead, she just kills herself in front of everybody? Like, I guess I just don't understand why the character feels compelled to kill herself. And why Vamp's death is what triggers this.
Yeah, it does seem kind of odd, and I'm thinking just because I know, we know the ending of the game,
for sure,
and stuff, which I'm not going to spoil for the sake of the show, but for sure. It could be just something that I'm going to do it now, so it doesn't happen to me later. So
yeah, I mean that's a good point too.
I think that's the only thing I can think of, but I think the whole thing of the syringe, like, working all of a sudden, like, now and killing her, because it's not like she was stabbed or she, or anything. Like, she got hurt in a way like Vamp did, that where if she takes a syringe now, her nanomachines are not keeping her alive at all, and she's gonna die. But she just uses it. I guess in the scene, does she use it like multiple times? Does she like?
Yeah, she stabs herself 3 times.
Okay,
like she stabs herself once, and then she talks. Okay, but and then she stabs herself again, and then she talks, and then she does it the 3rd time.
Maybe it's like an overdose.
I guess then now it makes sense. I forgot that she did that multiple times. It's just
for sure. I guess it almost would have made more sense if, like, because, like, I understand, like, for reasons, and that's not what I'm upset about. I guess I'm just upset about, like, this character killing themselves.
Their own reasoning.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, it just feels kind of ham-fisted and weird. So like I almost feel like they could have done something where like she could have stepped in to try and like intervene between Raiden and Vamp, and then she gets stabbed in the process or something.
I think I know the reason. And I believe that reason is because in every single game that Otacon is in, he has to lose somebody so he can become more and more suicidal, because this is the third person that he's quote-unquote been in love with or loves that he's lost. And that was part of my notes, is like, once again, Otacon lost somebody, and he cries like a little bitch again. Except it's more weird because it's through the freaking LED screen on his little robot, and they're longingly looking at each other through robot and a person. So it's it looks very weird.
Yeah. Well, and that stuff could have happened again. It could have just been like, oh no, she got stabbed by Vamp. Whoops. Or something. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, Monday morning quarterbacking aside, the line that did kind of get me a little bit was whenever she looks into the screen and she says, "You have such beautiful eyes." For some reason, it was like Jennifer Hale's delivery of it. I was just like, no, please. But yeah, it was good. And then in the midst of all this, Gecko's rush in, and then Raiden, Snake, and the Mark III are all like, "Hop on in the Metal Gear Rex mobile."
And I feel like this moment was a kind of a missed opportunity to do some little additional dialogue where it's like, what? I have to ride this thing. Like, pretty much. Like, I gotta... Like Snake being confused that he actually has to ride. Instead, he just embraces right away that, like, oh yeah, I got to ride Metal Gear Raid or Metal Gear Rex.
He's like, I know how to drive this thing.
Yeah, I totally know how to use this thing.
It was super weird. He like immediately sits down and he's like, I got this, and just like gets it going. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, so this begins like the Metal Gear Rex section, which I think is super fucking rad.
Oh my God, this was freaking.
It's
awesome.
just so cool. Like, it's really cool. This is what a Zone of the Enders could be on like PS3. So like, I don't know. It definitely reminded me of Zone of the Enders a lot, and it was really fun. Isaac, what did you think of this? Did you expect this to happen?
I did not, actually, believe it or not. I thought it was really cool, but like you said, how does Snake just instinctively know how to operate this thing? I mean, I guess maybe it's like driving a car. I don't know. Maybe they have. I mean, I Rexes.
I guess if we're pushing up our glasses and going like real hard, like, let me think of like hardcore Metal Gear fan that is writing a letter as they hear this to send to us because of how mad they are. Yes, I understand. Snake and Otacon started Philanthropy, which is an anti-Metal Gear NGO that they like embark on missions to dismantle Metal Gears and deal with Metal Gears. Yes, I understand that Snake could have been trained on how to drive a Metal Gear at this point. Mm-hmm. However, Metal Gear Rex is one of a kind.
True.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, just the whole thing's a little like,
Well, the entire time, probably Otacon has always had the owner's manual to the Metal Gear Rex, and on the time right before Snake takes his naps, he has a cigarette and he reads through the manual and learns how to ride it. Like, just
for sure.
I can't say just in case, but it's like for shits and giggles. It's like I ran out of reading material.
He reads it on the can.
Yeah, he's taking his shit with a cigarette, with his pants down, dozing off while reading the instruction manual to Metal Gear Rex.
Like, one day. Yeah, I'm gonna write a fan fiction about Snake learning how to drive Metal Gear Rex years before this event.
Yeah. Like, but it could have, like, I think what could have helped this scene, like, and helped, at least eliminate our confusion of Snake riding this, is some dialogue from Otacon saying, like, how to do certain things, and pretty much being the same vein of Colonel Campbell in Part 1. Explaining to you how to do things like use the action button for this or press this button and this and that.
For sure.
So Otacon explaining all that stuff. So it's kind of breaking the fourth wall, but then again, it's still within the game. And then it makes sense that Snake can ride this thing because we're confused on how we're going to ride this thing, but Snake knows.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the weird thing, too, is like everything that we just talked about, like from the syringe thing to the Metal Gear stuff and all this other shit. It's like this game is obsessed with telling you how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you take too long in any section of the game reminds you what you should be doing, like all the time. Mm-hmm. So why is it like in just these parts that the game's like, fuck you, I'm not going to tell you anything? And it's just like, I don't even have Otacon come on the codec while you're fighting Vamp to be like, hey, remember that thing Naomi gave you? Just to be like, oh yeah, okay, thanks, buddy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
because they even do that.
I don't know.
In,
It's like
in the Uncharted games, like if you're playing, because Uncharted's full of puzzle sections, and I've played it, and I've enjoyed I enjoy figuring things out for myself. I did that with
me too.
I did that on Metal Gear Solid 2, and I took pride in being able to go through that game, just figuring everything out for myself, relying on the codec and calling people to learn how to do things or figure my way through the game. Instead of relying on a strategy guide or the internet, and
Isaac,
at least at the time,
that's your real name.
At the time, I didn't even have a computer. So, but anyway, but yeah, it's I don't even remember what I was saying. But yeah, Metal Gear.
No, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like that's the thing is like Metal Gear Solid 5 does a really good job of not being too hand-holdy, but like this game in particular, like I don't know, it's just like there are points in the game where it kind of feels like Navi from Ocarina of Time is just like, hey, listen, like the whole time, and it's just like, fuck, I get it. But then like the parts that you need it, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it just
anyway,
would have made more sense in certain sections like this. It's like
for sure,
where it pops
like
up,
especially
like, you
this.
killed Vamp for a third time. You haven't figured out that you need the syringe. Hey, or hey, how about the syringe? It dulls the nano machines and all that stuff. Or hey, you're on the Metal Gear.
Maybe it's nano machines. Yeah.
Hey, you're on the Metal Gear.
Sure.
If you need help, here's the instructions. Blah blah blah. Instead of it being like, oh, off screen, he had the Matrix jack put into the back of his head so he could learn how to ride this thing.
Or even, like, with the Metal Gear part, it could have been, like, we're not playing as Snake driving it. We're playing as the Metal Gear Mark III piloting the Rex.
That
you know what I
way
mean?
to look at it, yeah. And Snake is just there having a cigarette, just taking a ride.
Yeah, he's just like, whoa, this is dope. I hate this thing. I hate Metal Gear, but this is fun. But yeah, so
why
essentially,
do I keep destroying these things?
this is dope. But yeah, essentially we've got machine gun missiles and the charge laser all attached to the like R2 stuff, L2, R2.
Which
you can press
all my past all my past playthroughs, I never realized how to use the laser until this time.
Yeah. I'm firing my
laser.
laser.
I kept trying to use it and I couldn't use it, and I was like, oh, it has to charge, but I ain't got that kind of time.
Yeah, totally. You can also press triangle for like contextual special attacks, which will be more apparent in the boss fight. But yeah, fun fact, if you press and hold triangle while you're in the Rex, Snake will just scream, liquid, and gain some health.
That is awesome. I did
not know that.
Oh my god.
Yep, you have to press and hold it, which I discovered by accident.
My whole entire life was a lie.
It would have been funny if he just yelled Otacon, like at the end of Act 3. He's just like, Otacon! And Otacon's like, what?
What? I'm right here.
But yeah, so you go through the hallway that essentially we went through with the Jeep in Metal Gear Solid 1. By hallway, I mean very long tunnel. And there's geckos all over the place. I say just fucking rush through them. You can kind of dash and just like take them out as you go. Yeah. It chips away at your health a little bit, but it's not that bad. And you get a shit ton of Drebin points. So
I don't know if one of my playthroughs I played this on a more a harder difficulty or anything, but there was a point where I went through
mode?
Probably. I don't think I'm not
the
that
big
ballsy.
boy baller club, man?
I'm not that ballsy. No, not at all. But no, there was a point where I went through the hallway just trying to blaze through, and I died. Like I did.
Oh
die.
wow!
So you can die. It's not like you're gonna get down to the end of your health and then it's gonna be the end of the scene. No, you can die if you take too long or if you just go pretty carelessly through this thing. Because my health bar was pretty low this time around too.
What's the timer for? Is the timer just the self-destruct?
Yeah.
Sort of like they're blowing up the bait? Like,
yeah.
How the fuck is there a timer for that? Like, why would we know how long it's going to take for them to blow up the...
It's all that Otacon hacking, man. He figured it
Video
out.
games.
Anyway.
He hacked the island.
Yeah. But yeah, so we fly out of this tunnel at the end, and to me it's almost kind of reminiscent of the Super Smash Brothers level of Shadow Moses, but we're in the port area, which is where the Jeeps slammed into each other and Liquid, air quotes, died in MGS1. And so essentially we get into this port area. Raiden takes a tumble thanks to some debris, thus pinning him and almost completing his ninja transformation, but not yet. And then Snake notices that Liquid's here, and Liquid flies out of the water, and he's piloting a Metal Gear Ray. So we get to have Metal Gear on Metal Gear hot, steamy action, total fan service.
I thought the entrance was really cool. Just going to throw that out
totally.
there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's it does such a good job of wow, this is super fucking cheesy and kind of lame, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, this is fucking cool as shit, and then 2 seconds later you're like, oh, this is kind of cheesy again. I don't know. It's good. It does this weird balance, but yeah, it's cool. This is the Ray boss fight, and this feels like Armored Core or something.
Yeah.
It's good. Essentially, Ray has the same weapons that you do. He's got missiles and a machine gun. However, he also has that water cannon from MGS2 whenever it sucks up all the water, and then it does the dinosaur scream and shoots the water at you.
Is that what that does? Because I always wonder, what is the advantage to this machine being able to roar like a dinosaur?
Yeah, I don't... It's weird, and it's supposed to be an amphibian Metal Gear unit, so I understand it pulls in water to shoot this hardcore water blast.
Okay,
that makes sense because if they're swimming and they're protecting subs and stuff,
so Ray
it just makes sense.
So Ray is just cleaning Rex, pretty much.
Yeah,
he can use
he's just taking a pressure washer
after all those years of collecting dust.
You're covered in Band-Aids, used condoms, and graffiti. So let me hit you with this. But yeah, and he stomps, so be careful because he can stomp his feet. Yeah, I don't know. This wasn't that hard for me. Again, it was just kind of time consuming. I just would dodge and then counterattack the whole time. And then anytime he would put distance between us, I just would either charge the laser or just go ahead and use the missiles. I felt like this scene was kind of hey, isn't it cool to pilot a Metal Gear? We're going to make this not that difficult so that you can have fun.
Yeah, and this was definitely fun. The first time I did it, I think I took a lot of time doing it, and I think because I didn't know how to use the laser when I first played it, and I just relied on just the machine gun and the Gatling gun and the missiles and all that, and trying to dodge the missiles or shoot the missiles down that Ray would shoot at me, and trying to get close. I thought I just really had to do a lot of close quarters, and striking and all that with the triangle. But this time
and it
around,
helps.
This time around, somehow it was insanely easy. I went because I realized what I was supposed to do with the laser, and if you do a nice combo of using the laser, the gun, and then the missiles, kind of mix them all up, you can defeat Ray in a minute. And
nice.
I defeated Ray in a minute, and I just did the close quarters thing maybe once or twice, and I was done. I was really shocked at how quickly I did this. It was insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it's the laser that really freaking gets them. It's that fucking laser if you let it charge, at least for that one level. Because you can let it takes longer to get to a second level to where you get the laser stronger. But because you can let it charge even longer. But I let it charge to that one time, and I would use it at certain points, let it charge, and then once he was in sight, I would use it, and then I would use the bullet. Then I used the the Gatling gun, and then the missiles too. So it was a nice mix and combo of all. It's doing a perfect combo in a fighting game, pretty much.
A DMC game. Yeah, it's like Devil May Cry or something.
Yeah, just destroying flawless victory, son. That's pretty much what it felt like.
It would have been really funny if top right, it just was A plus, triple A, S rank. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Isaac, how was your romp?
It was pretty fun. I just took my time pretty much because the environment was destructible or whatever, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Just kind of shooting at the buildings and stuff. But
Isaac's just shooting at windows.
No, I mean it was a very easy boss fight, but like you said, I think it was more of a a filler to give you the opportunity to pilot this massive mechanical beast. And it reminded me of like Megasalt or those kind of mech warrior games back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Of that feeling of you're just like destroying everything. But overall, it was pretty fun.
It's almost like it's the opposite of a stealth game. It's almost like the game's like, hey, you've been sneaking around for a while. How about you have some fun? Here are the keys to your dad's Metal Gear.
Here's a big gun.
Go crazy, kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. But yeah, as you kind of near the end of this, both Metal Gears kind of just fall apart. It's almost as if the two brothers are destroying each other.
What?
You guys.
Symbolic.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose, but yeah, both the Metal Gears kind of fall apart. They like two old dudes just fall out of some Metal Gears. That's pretty much what happens. My favorite part, and it's also like the lamest shit I've ever seen, is like Ocelot pulls like a dad joke like level prank where he's just like fucks, and then old Snake's like die, and then Ocelot falls over like he did at the end of the MGS1 in the Jeep, or excuse me, Liquid, and then he just kind of lays there for a second, and then he's like, hey, gotcha. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
I thought that was hilarious.
And my favorite is that he gets up and like runs away like a fucking like comic like cartoon villain. Like he's just like and just like runs off to the water.
Some reason in my brain I'm imagining him, and I don't think this happened, but he's running away and then he turns around going ha 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 and doing the finger guns.
No, he totally did that.
Did he?
Like he absolutely did that. It's like some Dr. Wily Mega Man shit. Like it's really weird. It's like Dr. Robotnik from like not the good Sonic cartoon, but like the shitty Fox one that was like for kids. It's real bad, you guys. In the best way. Like I mean, I laughed my ass off. I don't know if that's what was supposed to happen though. Oh yeah, and then just the cherry on top is like Snake's like, oh, I'm old, my body hurts, I'm gonna slowly crawl after this very nimble old man, and Ocelot, while he's like the Six Flags old man running down the corner, whatever the hell, the Cotton Eye Joe old man from the Six Flags commercials, like that's how he's running. He just like turns around and he's like, you'll never catch me, kid. And like this fucking Mount Rushmore of Snake boys comes out of the water. And I was just like,
who did they commission to do that?
Man.
Oh my god. Like it's just like I looked at it and I was like, there's Snake, there's Liquid, there's Solidus, there's Big Boss. Great. Love it. There's a Mount Rushmore on a boat. Okay. And then Liquid just like gets on the boat, and then the boat has like 1,000 Metal Gear rays underneath it, and it's just like, oh, okay. And then I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. So it cuts to, in the midst of all this, it cuts to Raiden, who's like still crushed under the rubble, and he's like, oh, I can do something about this for some reason. And he grabs the sword and he's like, Sonny, I'm sorry, and like cuts his arm off, thus completing his cyborg ninja transformation. Almost, because he's gonna totally complete it here in a second. But he just like runs out from the rubble, and in my head I'm like, is he about to throw the knife at Ocelot from like a mile away in like hopes that he's gonna do something? But no, what Ocelot has decided is a great idea, is that instead of shooting Snake or launching a nuke or doing anything crazy, they're just gonna fucking run a boat into an old man on an island. Like, Ocelot's totally okay with beaching the boat just to run over Snake with the boat. And this boat's massive. This is like some Arsenal gear shit. Meanwhile, Mei Ling's like shooting at it with like a little Pearl Harbor boat.
Outer Haven.
And yeah, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why would you... Isaac, that'd be like, hey, I can shoot you in the head, or let me like run outside, go get a monster truck, rev it up, and drive it into your house in hopes that I'm going to hit you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then Raiden stops the boat. That's the crazy part. Raiden, fucking one-armed Raiden, stops a boat the size of a town, and he's like, get out of here, Snake, I got you. And I was like, oh my god. So yeah, this whole game just became like Azura's Wrath / like Dragon Ball Z and like this last... And it's not that I hate that shit, it's just that like it doesn't fit with the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty outrageous. But then
it's weird,
and then
man.
Snake is just
What
like,
did you think, Craven? Am I being a whiny boy?
No. Like I think it's just the game, especially at this point, is just relying so much on just the show or just the showiness of it, or just everything looking cool and all that, and just being over the top and looking awesome instead of making sense within the story. And it's like, it'll be cool. It'll look cool if this boat just tried to run over just one dude and destroy an island or some shit like that. Like, I think it's just all show and, like, no substance, I guess. Like, it's just, I don't know, no pun
left
intended.
all that substance in MGS2.
Yeah, no pun intended. Or pun intended.
It reminds me of Twin Snakes a little bit, when, like, Cyborg Ninja cut the fucking building in half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, it's kind of that weird, or, like, Snake doing a backflip off of a missile in midair. It feels kind of like that.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Isaac, were you completely... Yeah, Isaac, were you dumbfounded by how ridiculous this was, or were you, like, all about it?
I think in the moment I was way into it. I was like, man, we just rode on this massive Metal Gear, and now this massive town boat, whatever you want to call it, is about to come and crush Snake. And then wait, what's his name? Raiden goes in 127 hours, smashes his arm off. And I'm like, what is happening? Just like so many ridiculous things. I mean, it was ridiculous in the moment, but I was kind of gunning for it because of how much ridiculous stuff was happening all at once.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like a crotchety old man, because trust me, man, I felt like watching this. I felt like I was watching Speed Racer, the Wachowski brothers movie, and I was just like I just like stood up and was like, woo! Like, it's just like that fucking crazy. But like when the dust settled, I was like, what did I just
what just happened? But here's the thing. All right, so after Raiden, I guess, stops the boat from crushing into Snake, and then falls over, the boat just sails away. Couldn't he just keep ramming after Raiden falls into the ocean? There's
They're
nothing
like, nah, it's all right.
You know?
Like they just had a quota to crush one person, and they crushed one person, and it's like
they only had enough gas.
I guess we'll leave Snake alone. Let's go.
I mean, they had him.
Like they don't want to scratch the boat any more than they have to.
That motherfucker dented the front. Let's get out of here, boys. Pack it up.
Like we just redid this paint job.
Yeah, dude. The thing that cracks me up, and I swear to God, in my head. So Raiden's like holding the boat back, and I don't even know if he says anything. I think Snake just like falls over in the middle of this. Like Snake goes from being on his knees to like being on his side, like fetal position, while this boat's there.
He just fell over to his side and just rolled away.
And can you imagine if he just would have like without speaking just rolled away?
Like, thanks, Raiden. I'm out.
He just holds the thumbs up and rolls out of it. But, like, Raiden's holding it back with one arm, and then, like, for whatever reason, like, the way it kind of looks is almost like as if the boat just kind of pops Raiden into a bunch of body parts. Like, he just kind of, like, phew, oh, man, like, he just, like, falls apart.
Like the crash test dummies.
Yeah, totally. But in my head, as he's, like, falling into the water, and, like, there's this, like, flashback of Jack and Rose talking about the day they first met or whatever from MGS2. Yeah. Which, like, talk about fucking whiplash. Like, we're essentially on a sugar rush, like, cocaine high of craziness. And then they're like, LOL, like, hard romance from, a sad part. But anyway, so as this is playing, in my head, I 100% hear Jack from Titanic just screaming, I'm king of the world! Yeah. It's weird. I totally wonder if Kojima was just like, and then we have the Titanic kill Jack because it's funny. Because that's pretty much what happened here. Like, the Titanic, Jack, and Rose all came back together for one last hurrah in Metal Gear Solid 4.
That's what the monument should have been. It should have been a Jack and a Rose.
Oh,
yeah, right?
That would have been funny.
Well, from the movie, not them.
But yeah, and like that's what I think it was Jack's final words was Rose, like as he was like falling into as he was crash test dummying into the water. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like Raiden's, I don't even want to say Raiden's dead because, like, let's think about this game for a second. Like, he's not dead. No, he's coming back at some point, I bet. Dies. Yeah, nobody. This is Dragon Ball Metal Gear now. Nobody dies. They're gonna get the balls. They're gonna wish for that person to come back to life.
You have a dude that died in the first game, was resurrected just because his arm was attached to an old dude. Like no one dies.
For sure. I'm waiting for Snake to pull out his like infinite extending stick and then ride his Nimbus like out into the sunset. But yeah, so anyway, that happens, and then Snake's, for all intents and purposes, just kind of like mourning all his dead friends on the floor. And then we see a chopper fly overhead, and then it fades to black, and that's it. Yeah. And that's the end of the act. So
it was at this point where I realized, holy shit, I finished this fast. It was literally 45 minutes for me. I was like, man, I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm so ready for this podcast.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, again, going back to it, like, we're speaking out of good nature. Like, hopefully you're not listening to this and you're like, I can't believe these guys recorded this Metal Gear podcast for 62 weeks of their lives just to take a big shit on everything. Like,
well, I remember you stating that, like, you weren't, you always put it out there that you weren't the biggest fan of Metal Gear Solid 4. And me, I've always been a fan of Metal Gear Solid 4, mainly because of the gameplay, but I never, even when I first played it, and I called in sick for work for 2 days straight so I could finish this game in like 3 days. But no, I never called it a video game. I always called it an interactive movie, because that's pretty much what it is. It's just an interactive movie, and that's pretty much what Konami, or not Konami, but Kojima wanted, was, you know, he wants to make movies, but because it's so cutscene heavy, but that's what we're familiar with Metal Gear, but the gameplay itself was really spot on when they did it.
And I love that aspect. Yeah. Like, to me, this feels like the best that the classic gameplay ever gets.
This is like the best. Like, when you guys were talking, because I remember you talking about it on the past podcast, that like they got the gameplay right with Metal Gear Solid 4. And I think it was actually, you said they got it, like, I think the interface that they did in I think Peace Walker, they did it better in that than they did in Metal Gear Solid 5, I believe. I think you said that.
Yeah.
But
no, and like like between MGS4 and Peace Walker, I feel like, to me, like, this is like the pinnacle of classic Metal Gear, and then like MGS5 is just like its own beast completely. Totally. Like, it just like feels like a completely different game.
Like Metal Gear Solid 5, I have, and just like, it's a one game, and I never played Peace Walker. I mean, like, I started it, but I never continued it, just because, you know, I think I tried playing it on the PSP and just never finished it. I think I got to a point where it's like, I just don't have time to devote to finishing video games anymore. I can start them, but not finish them. But
HD collection version's fantastic.
Yeah, which I have, and I'm just like waiting, because, you know, it's one of those things where you really got to be on a kick or really be in the mood to just put it on and play it through. But
it's a longer game.
Yeah, and I tried to jump into Metal Gear Solid 5, but it's like I'm only about maybe 15% through after it being out, and I just can't get through it, and I just spoiled it for myself and looked up everything on YouTube. And just
you looked up all 10 cutscenes from the game?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and that's
one cutscene per 10 hours.
Yeah, and that's something that took me out of the game, was the fact that it got away from what Metal Gear Solid really is. And I know this is not Metal Gear Solid 5 podcast, but that's what kind of.
Oh, for sure.
But it's but I got
Mercenaries 3 is what it is.
But no, it's like it's so gameplay heavy. It's the opposite of what Metal Gear Solid was really about, because, you know, all the the menus and the managing of the base and managing of your mercenaries and all that stuff, like doing all that stuff takes me out of the game. I lose interest. So I have trouble really sticking with the game. And when I do the gameplay, it's great, but then when I got to walk from the landing zone to, where my mission is, I'm just like, I'm tired. So
yeah, who the fuck? Yeah, again, not to go off the rails on this, but like, who looked at Metal Gear and was like, you know what this game needs? It needs open world. Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Needs open world.
It's like, fuck off, man.
It's
like,
different. It's different in, say, like a Grand Theft Auto, where like you can steal a car, you can pull some chick out of her car and punch her in the face for no reason and steal her car, and you can run over people. You can run over lights because they fall over so much easier in this game. But no, you just ride in a desert. If you can find a Jeep, and that's it. Or you ride your horse, you ride through, maybe you'll find some plants and send them over to your base, or you'll find some mercenaries that you can fly over to your base. But yeah, a lot of that stuff just kind of took me out of the game because it was too gameplay heavy. I enjoyed my story with Metal Gear. But
for sure. And it's like, I think Peace Walker is the perfect blend where it's like you have those elements, but it doesn't have the open world like padding. And then like it matches for all the gameplay. It has a shit ton of story. Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, if you're gonna do it, like mix it better. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so that's end of Act 4. That's sort of the end of this whole nostalgia trip. I would arguably say that, in my opinion, this is sort of like the end of the game proper, because like the last act of the game to me is just so much cutscene and boss fight.
Yeah.
That like there's not really any more like stealth left. Like, I mean, there's a decent amount of stealth in the next act, but I would say like probably the same amount of stealth that we saw in Act 4, where it's just like a handful of rooms. Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much us bidding farewell to Shadow Moses for forever now.
It's gone. And, it's underwater. It's no more.
Yep. Boom.
It's a sad day.
Do you guys have any sort of final thoughts on Act 4 before we kind of get to our closing stuff? What did you guys think? I know, Craven, like this is one of your favorite acts in the game, so by no means are we like bashing the shit out of it. To me, it's weird that like it just gets so like it feels like. I feel like if I would have played this part and would have been feverish, like literally like 110 degree temperature, this shit would have been like, I would have like it all would have made sense. Yeah, I would have been like, oh no, like this makes total sense.
Well, right off the bat with this game, like it's the story is just really ridiculous, and because I think this game was never really meant to be made. So it's like
I agree with that completely.
It's almost in the same vein as Dark Knight Rises. Where Christopher Nolan did not want to make that movie because of the death of Heath Ledger. He pretty much just wanted to just have it end at Dark Knight, but the studio and Hollywood demanded that movie, and same case for this game is pretty much in high demand, and it was pretty much forced out there, so we got what we got because of that situation. But yeah,
and you can feel it too. You can see it.
Definitely. And I love this section of the game. And now because of this playthrough, I have 2 different save points because of where.
Nice, congratulations.
So right after Crying Wolf, I have another save point. So if I ever want to just jump in and play it again, I can. But no, I love playing it. Just the playthrough and the nostalgia and all that just kind of really brings me back, especially seeing different points of the areas that you don't see in the other game, and seeing it through these graphics is awesome. But yeah, like, just the story stuff, it gets really silly. But when you played it so much, after, if you're the type that has played it over and over, it's just fun to watch and just kind of laugh at because it's so ridiculous. It's kind of like we all have that one bad movie that we know is bad that we can never show anyone else, but we'll watch over and over. Like for me is Wild Wild West. I love freaking Wild Wild West. It's a terrible movie, but I fucking love that movie. I watch it anytime it's on, and nobody would agree with me on that, but I enjoy Wild Wild West.
It's a fun movie. Well, that's the thing is, like, bad doesn't mean... Like, I think bad is... It can be bad, but still be entertaining and fun. And I think by bad, it just, like... What I mean when I say bad is just, like... I think poorly conceived and a little like rushed out the door and not written particularly well. Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's not like funny, goofy, compelling, fun to watch, outrageous, and like worth your time.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Prime example of that, and Sam would totally agree with me on this probably. 100% agree with me just a little bit, but he
100%, just 40%.
Yeah. But professional wrestling is a prime example. WWE, major example of that, is that, and it's the main reason why people don't, they watch it as kids, but they don't watch it anymore as an adult, because it's so dramatic. It's so a soap opera. It's not action, all that stuff. But when it's bad, it's bad. But when it's good, it is amazing. And most of the time, because there's too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to writing the stories out for, say, like a Monday Night Raw and a SmackDown, it's it can be very convoluted and really all over the place. But if you're a diehard fan, you just kind of stick with it. And me being a fan and also kind of in that world too, I see it from both perspectives. Usually wrestling is kind of like the stem of my creativity. I like having it on while I'm doing stuff. But but when I do pay attention, it's like, oh, this is really bad. So I don't pay attention to it. But when I watch stuff that is good, it's like I love watching the matches. But the story that they are telling within the matches, because that's what wrestling matches are, they're supposed to do a really good wrestling match will tell you a story in the wrestling match. That's why you'll see people work body parts and all that stuff. That's kind of a little bit of the inside world of wrestling. It's all storytelling. That's it's entertainment and all that. And with wrestling, like when they actually have the matches, it can be really entertaining, but there's no good story behind it, behind why these guys are wrestling and doing that, and it's just kind of like, oh, he spilled coffee on him. I guess that's why they're wrestling. Like,
you son of a
there's
bitch.
no reason to be invested in that, which that actually happened. That was the thing with William Regal and I think Chris Jericho. That happened before, and spilled coffee on one or the other, or spilled his tea or something like that, and then he had a wrestling match. But no, that wrestling is a prime example of that, and that's what like Metal Gear is, or Wild Wild West is, or our favorite bad movies that we are guilty pleasures of ours. Where like Metal Gear for me is not a guilty pleasure. I genuinely enjoy it, but it's just one of those things where it's like the story. I'm well aware that the story is completely ridiculous and insane, and just like it pretty much makes no sense. But if you wanted to, you can make you can try your hardest to try and make sense out of it and really dissect it. It's just there's some little hiccups in there and some of the storytelling. But yeah, that's pretty much my take on the whole thing.
For sure. Yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%. Isaac, do you have any other takeaways?
That was very thorough, I must say.
It was good. It was thorough. It was articulate. It was a little spicy.
I like telling
a little
stories.
funny, a little
I
sad.
enjoy telling stories. I enjoy analogies
Yeah.
and stories. So
Yeah,
For sure.
Awesome. Opinion-wise, for me, Act 4 was very... I thought it was really good at what it did. Now, the gameplay was kind of lacking in some places, like especially the second half, where there wasn't much. But what it did with all the nostalgia trip, and then smashing you with like 3 different bosses, I thought that was pretty phenomenal. And then the ridiculous stuff at the end was cherry on the top.
Yeah.
So overall, really good. I would probably play this again if you locked me in another dungeon, Alessio.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, the like boss after boss after boss when it came to this at the end, especially, is like it was like you said before. I think you said it last week, where it's like after this point, it's pretty much like boss after boss after boss, like just
yeah,
and
boss
it's just,
fights all the way down.
It's just like fun and makes it tense. And once the situation is tense like that in the game, like it just means awesome. Like it means good, because like you're more invested, and like you're really just on edge. It's one of those games where like you can't just lay back on a bed, you can't just lay back on the couch. You have to sit like on the edge of the couch and really pay attention.
This ain't no Stardew Valley.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's where like a lot of the fun came from. It's just how tense the entire situation was within the end of the game. Like the story itself, is what it is, but you really can't deny that like the gameplay that you do have in this section of the game, in this act, is really fun.
For sure. And variety alone, like,
Oh yeah.
I get it. Like the first 2 acts are really cool from like a Metal Gear sort of on paper standpoint, where it's like, hey, remember how it was all hallways in MGS 1 and 2? Fuck it, man. Like, how about an entire Middle Eastern downtown? And like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like on paper, it's cool.
Yeah.
But I think from like a character sort of like personality variety standpoint, like it's like Act 4 is like nostalgia, robots, like vampires, like fuck it, everything. And it's just like, wow, robots beating the shit out of each other. Like, I don't know, it's like there's a lot going on. And it does feel like Saturday morning anime, but like that's not to say I don't like a sugar rush from time to time. You know what I mean? And to some extent it reminds me a little bit of my guilty pleasure film, which I am unapologetic about. Jason Statham in Crank.
Oh,
is
man.
I fucking love that movie. So it kind of feels like that a little bit.
I couldn't even consider that like a guilty pleasure for anyone. Like that is
so good.
insane. Like
so good.
You either love it or you hate it. But like I feel like Jason Statham is my spirit animal. And
I'll take it. Metal Gear Rex is my spirit. So I'll take it.
Especially after seeing like Fate of the Furious, Jason Statham in that. I just like I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but he was amazing.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, he's amazing.
For sure.
He's amazing in that movie. And the whole idea of The Rock and Jason Statham getting a standalone movie for themselves, like a spin-off movie, just it amazes me. Like I just see them like I don't see why like say like The Rock and Jason Statham and maybe a couple other really, you know, more current action hero type actors now can just remake like movies like Cobra and Tango and Cash and like just the movies that were done in the late 80s and early to mid 90s and just kind of recreate them. Because I know The Rock is supposed to do Big Trouble in Little China and play the
that's what I heard too.
He's supposed to do that. So
well, and even like and all those things have like a tongue in cheekness to them. So like that part's fun in Metal Gear Solid 4, but like it also is like we all have to acknowledge it's fucking silly.
Oh yeah,
so
it's complete ridiculousness.
But sweet. So yeah, just to kind of wrap everything up, I just wanted to quickly plug out that we are still doing our get free copies of the new Gorillaz record campaign thing. So we've got 2 domestic U.S. Canada codes for digital/physical, and then we've got 1 digital international code to give out for Gorillaz Humans. Those are all standard edition. So if you're interested in getting some free music, definitely just like tweet about the show, hashtag Metal Gear Mondays, and tweet a link to the show, or share us on Facebook and invite your friends to like us on Facebook, and we'll be doing like a randomization to kind of figure out what the hell who gets it. So if you invited friends on Facebook, just let us know in the posts. If you tag hashtag Metal Gear Mondays, I'll just have it in my feed. But yeah, if you guys dig what we're doing, Forever an Astronaut is a 2-man creative Swiss Army knife in St. Louis, Missouri, doing a bunch of crazy shit. James Reichmuth, who is the other half of the company, is actually going to be replacing Sam after MGS4 on the show. So you'll get to meet him. Yeah, everything that we do is a passion project currently. We do have some sort of client responsibilities and client work that we do from time to time for like equipment and stuff like that, but for the most part, essentially this is us donating our time to work on shit that we really enjoy, be it Metal Gear Mondays, be it Dev Diary, which is now you should check it out. It's free on Amazon Prime instant streaming. Instant video. So that's not the sort of video direct kind of self-publishing. This is like legit Amazon Prime. So if you guys don't mind giving us a quick review on Amazon for Dev Diary, all 6 episodes of the first season are up there, and the more reviews we get, the more placement we get on people's front pages. So I think right now we're at like 26, 27 reviews. I would love to see that number get as close to 100 before the end of May, and we're going to be trying to bust our ass to make sure that happens. But yeah, essentially 2 dudes made a 6-episode documentary series with the help of some of our friends, and 2 dudes run 3 podcasts. Going to be adding some more stuff soon. We're actually $10 away from having all of the hosting for all of the podcasts taken care of via our Patreon. So that's super exciting. As soon as we pass that $45 mark, that then opens us up to after about $100, we will have paid for our Adobe Creative Cloud and all of our hosting and our website fees every month. So if we can get up to $100 a month, you guys pay for all of our overhead as far as like monthly expenses. And after that, if we can get to 150, we will, like 150, 200, we'll be adding a whole new show with a video component to the network. That will be me and James playing really shitty video games that you tell us to play. So we're super excited for all that stuff. So if you guys don't mind, there's 2 tiers on Patreon. There's the $1 tier to join the Slack and get access to polls that are Slack exclusive. And you get episodes a day early of all the podcasts, at least a day early. And then there's a $5 tier where over this weekend and hopefully most of next week, I will have finished up. For the $5 tier, you get a free downloadable code for Dev Diary on Vimeo and any of our shows as they come out. We're currently in the process of pre-producing a bunch of other video shows, and you get those early. But likewise, $5 Patreon tier, you're going to have exclusive access to a special part of our website that has kind of a museum dedicated to all things Forever an Astronaut, all things James and Alessio. So you can watch every fucking short film that me and James have ever made, even embarrassing stuff that isn't available anywhere on the internet. You can check out behind-the-scenes photos, script scans, host note scans, and just all kinds of crazy stuff that we're going to be uploading and curating on that back end, including like pilot and sizzle and like unreleased stuff that nobody will ever get to see because it's film festival exclusive or whatever. So yeah, that's my ridiculously long plug, but you guys should definitely check all that shit out. Craven, where can people find you on the internet if they are interested in what you do?
And what I do, you can find me on Instagram at Craven Knyte, Craven with a C, Knight spelled Kmyte, and where you can see some creative stuff. I do intend to post some workout stuff on there every now and then. I'm not a vain guy, so I don't post a lot of selfies, so don't worry about that. But I do have Break Night Props also. On Instagram, where you can see just the projects that I'm working on. I do take commissions for doing props. I have a couple things coming up with especially adding some wrestling gear stuff in there as well. Mainly making like kick pads and knee pads and stuff. But if you want to check that stuff out. But I also have my podcast, the Breaking Night podcast. I didn't really sell it too well last time, so I'm going to do it better this time around. So the Breaking Night podcast, it is a creative podcast, but also we talk about all the stuff that inspires us to be creative. And there's like movies, TV, comic books, cartoons, and toys, and all that stuff. So we kind of dive into all of that stuff while talking about creative stuff. I was talking about we're gonna rebrand it, but my buddy Sean Iredale of Amberland Studios told me that it's probably best, considering that I'm getting back into wrestling, to stick with the name, because if people search me, they find the podcast, they find his stuff too. So it's just better business wise. So because Breaking Night Podcast is kind of my baby in a way, even though it's still trying to find its way, and we're still figuring it all out. So it's really fun. I release the episodes bi-weekly for now, because that's, what I can do on Libsyn. I don't do Patreon or anything. Well, I do have a Patreon, but I'm thinking of shutting it down just because I don't really know how to work it all that great, and especially since there's not a huge listener base, but I know there's people there. But either way, I still enjoy doing the podcast. I enjoy interacting with people when they do. I enjoy making the stuff that I do. I like dipping my hand in so many different pots that I keep myself busy to the bone. So, but yeah, that's what I got.
Be careful if you're sticking your hand in a pickle jar, it might get stuck.
I hate pickles.
Oh no! Get off of this podcast right now. You get out of here.
I'm sorry.
Pickles and mustard, baby. Separate, not together. That's great.
I hate both.
No, that's actually really good together.
Oh man,
I don't know. Nasty foods for special people aside, yeah, definitely check out all of Craven's stuff. He's a really good dude. Really enjoy all of the contributions that you made to the show. Thank you so much for being on.
And I do have to add one thing, because with wrestling, I love.
It's pronounced wrestling.
I like the entrance attire that I tend to wear, which can be like a vest or a jacket. And what I did, I found a cool jacket at I think it was a Marshall's, and it was just a denim gray jacket. It looks like it has a little bit of paint splatter on it and stuff, and it's a cool collar and all that. And I chose this to be my vest that I put the patches of stuff that I enjoy. So one of the first patches that I purchased was a Special Operations Foxhound patch that I got in the mail today, that I literally sewed on before I started the show. So it's like very appropriate for today. That and a couple other patches that I purchased. I think I got a Dragon Ball Z Saiyan crest patch to add to that. So there's a bunch of little patches I want to put on just so people can see what I like, and maybe a Puerto Rican flag patch so people can know I'm Puerto Rican and not Mexican. So which gets confused quite a bit considering I live in Minnesota. So, but yeah, that's my final thing to add because of the relation to Metal Gear.
Hell yeah. I think other listener of the show, Zach Davis, lives in old Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, look at that. Bringing people together in the Midwest.
Hell yeah.
Hot damn. But yeah, cool. That's it. Isaac is on Twitter at doesn't have a twit.
Right. I'm a silent
Isaac
boy.
shadow stalks the Slack and will pop out once in a blue moon if you wish upon the third shooting star that you see.
Wish upon a star.
So yeah, remember kids, wish upon a star. Craven, it's been so good having you on. Hopefully we can have you on for future episodes,
Definitely.
especially if we do the action figure talk.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that. I really appreciate being part of the show, especially doing both halves of Act 4. This is really fun.
Sure.
Enjoy talking to you guys. It's definitely fun to sit down or stand up and talk to you guys about this stuff. It's fun.
Yeah. And yeah, just as far as show schedule stuff is concerned, essentially we're going to have Craven on the side op, which, spoiler alert, we're going to record here in 5 minutes. And then after the side op, we're going to be continuing our coverage of Metal Gear Solid 4, talking about Act 5, Part 1 and Part 2 of Act 5. Though, depending on the length, it's a lot of shit. That final cutscene alone could probably be an episode. Yeah. So we'll split Act 5 into 2 parts, and then we'll do essentially a listener response on everything Metal Gear Solid 4. And then we'll probably do a special episode on Metal Gear Online as a micro episode, and then we will be diving into our next game.
Well, there's because I brought this up last week too, and I did it after the show, which would have been an appropriate thing to bring up on the show. But there's something that other fans can actually look into is Metal Gear Solid Philanthropy. That is a fan-made film, kind of little series that guys did years ago. That is just little side stories that it's fan made, so it's not it has nothing to do with Konami or anything like that. It's just fans making it, but it's really interesting, kind of fun stuff to watch, especially if you're on a huge Metal Gear Solid kick. You want to watch some random stuff online that has to do with Metal Gear Solid. This is a cool thing to watch, and it's just little side stories that of missions that Solid Snake is going on and stuff, and it's really cool. It's worth checking out. Metal Gear Solid Philanthropy could definitely be a side op in itself.
That's awesome. Yeah, and after MGO version 2, we're going to do a quick little aside on Metal Gear Touch as well as Metal Gear Mobile, talk about the ACID mobile ports, Metal Gear Social Ops, and just kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, as soon as I got an iPhone, that was one of the first games I downloaded was Metal Gear Solid Touch, and I played it through and finished it.
For sure. And then after that, we're going to be covering Zone of the Enders, the second runner, which will be when James joins the party. So... hot damn. Woo. Well, cool. I think the next guest that we have on the show, I believe, is Zachary James, is going to be joining us to finish up Act 5 and the end of the game. Besides that, you're stuck with me, Isaac, and Sam for the rest of the game.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun. If you guys do have listener response stuff to send in for Act 5 or sort of the end of the game, all of that stuff is going to be due on Thursday, June the 1st. So if you have any Metal Gear Solid 4 notes or letters or comments at all, Thursday, June 1st is the cutoff, and I will remind you guys closer to time. Craven, would you like to see us off?
Oh, it's just a box.
Just a box.